Before beginning the range install, please review the installation instructions in the owner's manual and make sure you have all the necessary tools. Also, familiarize yourself with all important safety instructions, warnings, and cautions. Shut off the range gas supply valve before removing an old range and installing a new one. If the range gas supply is disconnected for any reason, see the installation instructions for proper connection and safety precautions. In this video, we'll explain how to check that the range ventilation and install location meet specifications. Unpack and move the range. Convert a gas range to liquid propane. Install and engage the anti-tip bracket. Connect the range to LP. Position and level the range. Install the lay covers and front rail. Test operation, and check and adjust the surface burners. At times, you will need at least 2 people to help move the range. Because of the high heat capacity of this unit, you must ensure the hood and ductwork installation meets local building codes. The hood must have a rating of at least 600 CFM, exhaust out, and not operate by blowing air down on the cooktop. Check install clearances carefully. The maximum depth of overhead cabinets installed on either side of the hood is 13 inches. Wall cabinets must be 18 inches above the countertop. There is a 36-inch minimum clearance required between the top of the cooking surface and the bottom of an unprotected cabinet. To unpack the range, cut the packing straps and lift the carton straight up. Unpack the grates and burner caps and discard the styrofoam. You can remove the oven door to reduce the weight of the range during installation. Fully open the door and unlock the hinge on both sides, rotating them as far toward the open door frame as they will go. Then firmly grasp both sides of the door. Close the door approximately 30 degrees to the removal position, which is halfway between the broil stop position and fully closed. If the position is correct, the hinge cams will move freely. Lift the door up and out until the hinge cams are clear of the slots. Never lift the door by the handle. It is not designed to support the weight of the door and could break. Now, remove all packing materials from inside the oven. Also, remove the trays and oven racks to make the range easier to handle. But do not remove the griddle element or adhesive film that's over the brushed metal surface to protect the finish from scratches. In order to remove the range from the pallet, remove the 4 nuts to remove the brackets. Then remove the 8 Phillips head screws. Move the range only as shown here to avoid damaging the appliance and personal injury. You will need 2 people and a furniture dolly with soft wheels or an airlift to support the weight of the appliance. Now, carefully tilt the range from the back and insert a dolly under the range to remove it from the pallet. To prevent damage to the sides of the range, you will need to pad the corners beneath the straps of the dolly. Slide the range onto press board, cardboard, or plywood to avoid damaging the floor coverings. Remember, the range gas supply valve must be shut off until the new hookup is complete. This kitchen has a propane supply only, so we'll be demonstrating an LP hookup. The range is designed to operate at a pressure of 5 to 7 inches of water column on natural gas or 6 to 10 inches on LP. Make sure you are supplying the range with the type of gas for which it is configured. Begin by locating the conversion kit, which should be inside or on the back of the oven. The kit includes nozzles for the oven, griddle, and up to 6 gas burners, as well as the installation guide. The pressure regulator is located under the back cover of the range. You'll need to make sure it's in the correct position for the type of gas supply you're connecting. Do not remove the pressure regulator from the range. Use a coin to unscrew the circular cap and turn the brass cap counterclockwise to separate it from the cap holder. Flip the plastic cap inside the brass cap over. This is the LP side. Reassemble the cap in the holder. Then screw the circular cap back into the regulator, but do not over-tighten. To convert the bake and broil orifices to LP, use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the vent trim and the back panel. Unscrew the broiler rear cover and use a 16mm wrench and Phillips head screwdriver to remove the nozzle housing. Use a 10mm socket wrench to remove the orifice spud. Replace the natural gas spud in the nozzle housing with the LP orifice spud. To avoid leaks, make sure the spud is secure. Reconnect the nozzle housing with the Phillips head screws only. Now you can convert the bake burner orifice. Begin by removing the Phillips head screw on the nozzle housing. Do not remove the nozzle housing. You must remove the nut connected to the safety valve with a 16mm wrench and remove both the nozzle housing and the piping together. Then use a 10mm socket wrench to remove the orifice spud from the nozzle housing. Do not use a nut driver, which could damage the spud and housing. Now, install the LP orifice spud. To prevent leakage, make sure the spud is securely screwed into the nozzle housing. Next, reinstall the piping to the safety valve with the nut. Reinsert the screw into the nozzle housing and move the damper to the right-hand side of the housing. Now you can reattach the nut to the broiler nozzle housing. Reattach the broiler rear cover and the back panel. Make sure the power cord is in its slot before screwing it back on. To convert the griddle, unscrew the 2 screws in the griddle assembly. Be careful when removing the griddle because it is heavy. Also, remove the brackets. Now, remove the 2 screws holding the burner in place to move it gently out of the way, being careful not to damage the ignition wires. Next, use a 10mm wrench to remove the burner's brass orifice spud. Install the LP orifice spud into the correct position. To prevent leakage, make sure the orifice spud is securely screwed into the gas supply tube. To convert the surface burners to LP on models prior to the serial numbers shown here, the grates, burner caps, burner heads, and vent trim should all be removed. For models with a sous vide, induction hub, or griddle, you must also remove them with the brackets. For the surface burners, remove the 12 Phillips head screws and remove the cooktop basins. You can use a small flathead screwdriver to help with this process. Use a 7mm socket wrench to remove the brass orifice spud in the chimney of each burner. Use a 7mm wrench for the side spuds. Each LP orifice spud has a code on the top or the side that tells you the location on the range where it should be installed. Use these codes to install the LP orifice spuds in the correct locations. Again, to prevent leakage, make sure the orifice spuds are securely screwed into the gas supply tube. Next, fill out the LP stickers included with the conversion instructions. You must attach the large sticker to the back of the range near the regulator. Attach the smaller sticker below the serial number tag on the bottom right of the control panel. Place all of the orifices you removed back into the plastic bag with the instructions and return the kit to the back of the range. You must remove the LP sticker from the back of the range if it is converted to natural gas. The anti-tip bracket is packaged with an installation template. You will need a carbide or diamond-tipped 3/16 glass and tile bit if the anti-tip bracket will be installed on tile. Following the template, tap through the holes to mark your points to drill on the floor. Then, drill your holes. Now, secure the anti-tip bracket with the 4 screws provided. Finish with the last 2 screws into the wall, making sure the screws enter the wood or concrete. If the homeowner refuses the anti-tip bracket because of tile or any other type of flooring, you must require a signed waiver of liability. Now, let's connect the range to propane. Apply gas PTFE tape to the 1/2-inch NPT. Tightly secure the adapter to the inlet pipe set with a wrench and slip joint pliers. Do not over-tighten. You'll need a CSA internationally certified flexible metal appliance connector to connect the range to the gas supply line. The hose should have an outside diameter of 5/8 of an inch and a maximum length of 5 feet. Never reuse an old connector when installing a new range. To attach the gas line, remove the line plug and attach the other nipple with some gas PTFE tape. Use an adjustable wrench with slip joint pliers, being careful not to over-tighten. Attach the hose to the nipple and tighten with an adjustable wrench and slip joint pliers. Be careful not to over-tighten. When all connections have been made, check that all range controls are in the off position. Then turn on the gas supply valve. Check all gas connection joints and fittings for leaks with a non-corrosive leak detection fluid or soapy water. then wipe off. Make sure the burners are off, then plug the range into the outlet. Please note that a power cord is supplied with gas models, but dual fuel models are not shipped with a power cord. Make sure you have the correct 3 or 4 wire connection for the install location. Remove the protective film from both sides of the range. Now is a good time to reinstall the burner sumps. In order to roll the range into place, the rear feet must be raised off the ground. Raise the back feet using a 1/4-inch socket wrench. The screw drives are located inside the rear vent channel. With a helper, slide the range into position by lifting the front to engage the wheels, ensuring that the back leg slides under the anti-tip bracket. Tilt the range forward and use a socket wrench to adjust the back legs to your desired height. Now, raise the front so your helper can lower the front legs. Reattach the rear vent trim and push the range flush to the wall. Carefully attempt to tip the range forward to ensure the anti-tip bracket is engaged properly. If the range can be tipped, reinstall it until the anti-tip bracket is properly installed and the range will not tip forward. When you feel the range is level with the countertop, place a level diagonally on the installed oven rack, first from the left front to the right rear, and check your adjustment for level. Then check with the level placed from the left rear to the right front. Adjust the leveling legs with a wrench as needed until you show level in both directions. The leg covers conceal the front leveling legs. To install the stainless steel leg covers, remove the protective plastic and slide each small leg cover inside a larger leg cover. Cutouts should face up and both covers should be open at the back. Place the outer covers on the floor and slide the inner covers up until the holes at the top front line up with the holes on the range. Then insert the provided screws through the holes in the leg cover assemblies to secure them in place. Make sure you have removed the plastic film from the stainless steel front rail. Then insert the front rail onto the flange below the oven door, aligning the holes in the top of the rail with the holes in the flange. Use the 3 screws provided to secure the front rail to the flange. Reassemble the unit. And remove any tape and temporary labels from the range before testing, but leave the adhesive film layer over the brushed metal surface to protect the finish from scratches. Double-check that all packing materials have been removed from the oven cavity and door. Now, press the power button located next to the display and set initial settings, such as language and time. Now, select Bake in the cooking mode screen, then Start to check the operation of the oven. The oven should finish preheating in 15 minutes. After making sure the oven operates properly, turn the temperature in the oven to 550 degrees Fahrenheit or 288 degrees Celsius and leave the oven on for at least an hour. This helps remove any residual oil that might cause smoke or odor when first using the oven. Check the electric ignition by selecting a surface burner knob and simultaneously pushing in and turning to the light position. You'll hear a clicking sound indicating the spark module is working properly. Once the air has been purged from the supply lines, the burner should ignite within 4 seconds. After the burner ignites, rotate the knob out of the light position and repeat for each burner. Make a visual check of each burner's flame combustion quality. With LP gas, some yellow tipping on the outer cones is normal. Next, you'll adjust the continuous simmer setting on all burners. The extra low simmer settings on the small 15,000 BTU burners adjust to maintain temperatures automatically as the flame cycles on and off. Remove the knob on the burner you're adjusting. Unscrew the 2 screws and remove the locking plate. Then reassemble the burner knob and light all the surface burners. Turn the knob on the burner you're adjusting to the simmer or S4 position. Then remove the knob. Insert a small flat blade screwdriver that's at least 9 inches long into the adjustment hole to the left side of the valve shaft and turn the adjustment screw until the flame reaches the desired size. Then reassemble the locking plate and burner knob. You'll perform 2 tests to check the simmer setting flame stability. First, quickly turn the knob from the highest setting to simmer or S4. If the flame goes out, increase the flame height with the adjustment screw and test again. For the second test, set the burner to simmer or S4, then quickly open and close the oven door. If the air current extinguishes the flame, increase the flame height with the adjustment screw and test again. Repeat the simmer adjustment and tests for each burner. You've completed the Signature Kitchen Suite 36-inch and 48-inch gas ProRange installation. Visit signaturekitchensuite.com for more information on our precision built-in kitchen appliances.